I've chosen It's Never Too Late to Become Who You Want to Be by Scott Fitzgerald. It's never too late to become who you want to be. That's a quote from Scott Fitzgerald and the theme for this topic. Now, unpacking this quote would involve several hours of dialogue that we don't have. However, there are 3 key ways to understand what he meant by this quote and how it can impact us in our daily lives and how we can use it moving forward. By first, understanding historical examples of new starts. Second, by understanding modern examples of new starts. And finally, how moving forward we can have a fresh mindset and how that is a bounding and stepping stone to success. So, first, historical examples of fresh starts. Historically, starting fresh means moving past grievances, flaws, especially in the United States. Coming here from other countries was supposed to be the epitome of freedom and opportunity. However, in the past, injustices such as racial injustices, class injustices, and nationality injustices meant that people previously didn't actually have the opportunity that they were promised. Take, for example, segregation and slavery of Black American citizens. This was not justified and not right in any sense. In fact, Plessy v. Ferguson actually justified these grievances and injustices. However, by having a fresh idea and fresh mindset, we're moving towards solving these issues, even though they can still arise. Having a fresh mindset brought onto us by great leaders like Martin Luther King Jr., great protesters like Rosa Parks, who participated in the Montgomery bus boycotts, we can actually achieve a goal of having a fresh start without staying stagnant. But secondly, modern day problems, issues of having a fresh start. The issues of modern day having a fresh start stem from new technological innovations, newer and more relevant international conflicts, and overall just greater tension in society. Take, for example, the development of artificial intelligence. This has created much tension in society. However, to circumvent this, we can have a fresh mindset. Whereas some people may see the technology as cumbersome and ineffective, we can also see it has its use cases and its abilities. But also secondarily, looking at international conflicts that are going on currently. If we look at the United States participating albeit as a third party, in the Ukraine versus Russia war, this actually means that we have a fresh start as a nation. Why is this? Because we actually, as the United States, have participated in this war indirectly by helping Ukraine and acknowledging the injustices that other countries have committed. Take, for example, previously in the Holocaust, we participated in that war and helped free the Jewish community in Germany. However, in this war, if we did nothing, that would be no fresh start at all. Instead, by promoting these fresh starts and allowing for new communities to be built in Ukraine, we're participating in achieving this. But how can we continue to do this moving forward? What are the strategies we've implemented so far, and how is it actually effective? Well, first, we can understand that continuing to apply these ideals and ideologies, that you're never stuck where you are. You personally as an individual might not necessarily have the tools or abilities to get through a situation or problem all by yourself. However, collaborating and working together is the best way to solve problems. And we can see this in both historical examples. If we look first to the racial injustices of Black Americans, we can see that the Montgomery bus boycotts and the protests of Martin Luther King Jr. were very effective in achieving this goal. But also, secondarily, the fact that the racial injustices and society injustices and the Russia-Ukraine war are being currently combated by the people of the United States, allowing for Ukraine to have a fresh start. In both scenarios, they needed more people to achieve a common goal, and that's how fresh starts happen. It's not an individual thing, it's a collaborative group effort. And so, we can see that to establish a fresh start and fulfill F. Scott Fitzgerald's quote, we have to first look to what's happened previously. Second, understand what's going on right now before finally actually achieving that in the future. Because the only way to be the best version of yourself, sometimes, as Peggy put it in Captain America, the best that you can do is to start over. Thank you.